Victor is, from the comic side of things, Victor originally comes from a place called Latveria, which is a place that doesn't exist. It's kind of an Austrian-type place. He was, what was he again? He was the son of a Latvian prince, I think it is, and a gypsy mother.
The man is the world's worst villain, but he never did anything illegal.
Never did anything wrong.
All he wanted to do was rule
rule the world.
And if he parked incorrectly or something, he had diplomatic immunity.
Right.
So I loved him for that reason. Yeah, he's the only villain in comics who was king of his own country with diplomatic immunity. So you are not just your average villain. I want you to be aware of that.
Oh, you know, there was not a moment in time where I thought he was an average villain, trust me.
For me, since Austin Power is very tough to make movies about taking over the world thing, you need like a smaller mission. And what works very well for us with villains in the Marvel Universe, that the story is more personal. So we made some changes to make Doctor Doom a peer member, if you will.
The only bad thing about your role, I hate to say this, and I don't want to depress you or make you feel bad, you don't get the girl.
You know, I got to be honest with you, it is a little
I feel
depressing.
bad about that.
It is. Actually, I just did a scene where I got out just after the Fantastic Four's done all their things, and you know, this big crowd was there to greet them and all this kind of stuff. And then about, you know, an hour later, Victor arrives in his limos. He's totally used to that whole, you know, I'm here and everybody's paying attention to him.
Yes, I know that feeling.
Yes, I'm sure you do. So I get out of the car and everybody's like, oh, can't be bothered, done. I was like, where's the love? Where's the love?
Where's the
love
love?
is dissipated from Victor.
That is funny.
I'm not feeling much love from the group, and I'm wondering if we can warm that up a little.
Well, but it's in the character. They're not supposed to love you. And so what I've told them
Part of the movie is that. Nobody gave me the rewrites, man.
Which group
I
is
thought I
that?
was well loved in this movie.
Well, you are, but it's from different. It's from the evil people. They're not here. They only come out
they're evil.
at
Julian,
night.
if he wants to shoot reference on this.
I'll
shot.
kill them all. What?
Do you mind if we shoot reference on this?
What does that mean?
Like the reference balls, do you care?
It's time they use my reference balls.
Wait, we're doing one more of these.
One more and then we'll shoot my balls.
Big balls, small balls, ceilings. Whoa, we have a double ball.
Julian is just, first of all, he's one of the funniest guys you ever meet. But what was great about Julian is I met him early on in the casting process, and he came in and sat down with me, and I just remembered him all the time. And we went through our normal casting thing where you meet everybody and their mother, and nobody just stood out like Julian. Julian just gave us this presence.
Excuse me if I savor the moment.
Even he has a little bit of an accent, and that was perfect, you know, because we didn't want to say that Victor was from a specific place. I mean, he is from Latveria, but we didn't want to say that, quote unquote, but we just wanted him to sound non-American.
How come they let you dress this way? I mean, aren't you being villainous somewhere?
Oh, no, this is the villain. This is the true villain is always
this is-
cloaked in something that you would never expect him to be cloaked in.
You haven't become Dr. Doom yet with all
No,
the
I'm just
stuff on
starting.
you.
This is just when we came back to Earth after our little space mission.
I have to do something about this scar. Make sure they only shoot me from my left side.
Actually, the scar's tracking well. People seem to think it humanizes you.
And that's a good thing?
Victor, I wanted to take him through an arc as well in his wardrobe. So in the beginning, his wardrobe was a little lighter. You know, his suit's a slightly lighter, pale, you know, kind of grays, and his shirts are creams and whites. And as he goes through his arc, his shirts and his wardrobe darkens, goes into grays and darker grays and graphites, and eventually goes to black, and then these deep greens. And here you can see some of the details are starting to come together. The interior, which is pretty amazing. Beautiful texture and colors, and then the back, which I love. So when he's going around, actually you get this thing opens up, and you get the shots of red, which is pretty beautiful. And then here's the workroom, where a lot of stuff gets put together. See a pair of pants getting made here, panels going together. The amount of work in these coats alone is just insane, and these ladies have put up with so much. And over here we have this balaclava that he puts on, and this thing, to me, I mean, there's so many bits and pieces I love, and this is one of them I really love. It mocks kind of the muscles, so you get kind of sinew, you got the clavicle, And the fabrics, when these things are lit on screen, they almost look wet. It's really a great effect. And so the helmet then will fit down into here. It just has, I don't know, just has really eerie quality about it.
Do you stick my hood down or something? What is wrong with you people? It's off, it's on, it's off, it's on. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. It's nothing to do with performance. It's all about costume, makeup,
mostly
special effects,
costumes,
and masks.
This is a lot like fiberglass, but what it is it's an epoxy actually, so it's a bit more durable. There's no, because with fiberglass you have shrinkage and you have movement. Epoxy doesn't move, so it's very accurate when you cast it. It's very strong, very light. So when he wears it, it's pretty comfortable as far as weight. There's multiple facets and there's expression, but it's not over the top. And keeping some rivets and just hitting as many moments as I can, but still putting my flavor into it as well.
Is this going to be as tough for you as the thing is for him? I mean, you're going to have all that stuff on
You know, I
or-
don't think it's going to be as tough just because I don't have the head thing, the placement of that thing in, which is the kind of claustrophobic part of it.
Yeah.
I have like scars here, here, here.
Take a good look, Ben. This is what a man looks like who embraces his destiny.
The transformation of Doom was done primarily with prosthetic effects. He even had like skin that you could peel away as he was in the final stages of transformation.
I built a better, stronger being.
Made of silver and tack and sticky shit on my neck. It just doesn't look good. I'm not close enough to my camera. I need to be here. Thank you. Let's do it again.
And then we would put our electric effects tracked along the body and weave it underneath the skin and anything we needed to do to help augment that with glows and electricity and things like that.
It's different to everything else that you've seen before because underneath it is not so fleshy, it's more of a metallic kind of substance, and that's kind of weird to start with. We are in comic world, so you have to kind of go along with this kind of stuff a little bit, but then it's really kind of, to me, I felt like it was the stripping down of a man. You know, the stripping down of his beliefs and his whole system and his character and his personality, you know. And that initiates through the physicality. With the vanity level being so high with Victor, you know, once a cut on the face is not a good thing, and once it develops into other things, it's really not a pretty sight for him. I mean, it's not a pretty sight for anybody, but particularly Victor.
This is how villains are born, you know. There are powerful people out there who use it for good, and some they don't. So this is the yin and yang.
Once he kind of gets the feel of the whole thing and starts to envelop it and discover it, he actually starts to enjoy it and see how much it can bring him, how much power. Well, ultimately, the guy's looking for power.
I've always wanted power. Now I have an unlimited supply.
And no thing to stand in your way.
There's many things you can do with this, including drop them like a putz. I learned most of my moves from Jessica, but that's because she's a industrial pole expert. That's what they call her.
And you know, Julian's a show-off.
That's so not true. She's the show-off in the bunch, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
You can tell, can't you?
Doom is now going to walk over towards the thing holding a telephone or a lighting pole, and he's about to deal the final death blow to the thing. Is Doom the baddest guy in town? Badder than Leroy Brown.
Extras are doing good.
They're very good, aren't
they?
Yes.
Very nice job by the extras.
Thank you.
The actors leave a little to be desired, but we'll do better, I promise.
Roll, please. And action!
During the film, we would see a progression, turning gradually into the masked terror of Dr. Doom, who's a man made entirely of metal at the end. And so he would wear a prosthetic foam suit that was metallic on all of its surfaces.
You better get some good shots of this, because this is only happening once.
The most attractive part of this outfit is the top knot you have going up here.
You like that?
Yeah, that's nice.
A little tough. I feel quite powerful, though, I must say. Except the fact that I can't turn my head or raise my arms. This is what it comes down to. This is all the years studying, all the years in theater, all the years training to be an actor comes down to being stuck in a prosthetic zoom suit from God knows where and looking like a human sperm.
We got that now. We're on to the wide shot. Fantastic Four in front of the Doom statue.
You have the evolution of strength as well. You have him developing into this beastly man made of steel who can make things happen simply by thinking about them. He can electrocute things, and he can use power and electricity for different kind of sources.
The effects that we're creating are Dr. Doom's energy effects. So he's able to gather energy, and he's able to blast that energy back out at his opponents. This is an example of one of the shots where Doom is electrocuting Ned, the character. This is the plate that was shot for the film. You can see there's a practical explosion behind him, but all of the energy effects are left out. We have to create all those. The first thing we do for a shot like this, we actually match their movements on the computer, and you can see here this checkerboard pattern is actually on the 3D model. And so you can see we've matched the arm for Dr. Doom here in his hand. And for the other character, Ned, we matched the entire body and the coat and the fabric. Once we have that stuff matched on the computer, we can start applying effects between them. The lightning effect you can see is just geometry that we have in three-dimensional space. We actually can control precisely where we want the lightning to start and end. So in this case, we have more than one piece of lightning. We have a piece going from his hand to the floor, and then we've got 3 or 4 separate pieces coming from the floor up to the body. And we place those start and end points by hand, so we have a really good idea of where it's going to be going. We end up putting a bunch of other layers on top of the lightning effect. This is going to be a smoke layer that goes over the hand. This is kind of a more smoky aftermath of the lightning. The energy effects that we add in have to shine on the characters in the scene, so we take that geometry of the character that we matched and use it as a surface to reflect light from our effects. And this is a pass of just that light that's reflecting on the character. So this is all of those layers put together. So you can see the main bolts, they're pretty glared out and hot. Got subtle smoke and plasma effects coming off the hand and the flares.
What did you do? Exactly what I said I would. I built a better, stronger being and outsmarted the great Reed Richards.
Victor, this is not the way to... No, it's not the way to go, and I'm telling you, okay? And then I go, one there. There he goes, running off. And then one there. And I go, why the lightning all the time?
Julian's probably the funniest guy on the set. I mean, he is hilarious, but at the same time, he can switch that and give us this edge. I mean, that's what was great about Julian as well. Through all of the stuff, he always has this edge about him. Even when he's being the nicest and the most charming guy in the world, there's always this little thing where you know, this guy might switch up on me. And he brought that to the role of Victor, because Victor becomes, quote unquote, the greatest villain of all time.
I put a lot of pressure on myself because there is a reputation to uphold. I mean, he's the original nemesis. He's the original bad guy. He's the original whatever. You know what I mean? So many characters have come out of that, including, Lucas's comments on the, Darth Vader comes from Dr. Doom. So just to fill those shoes, I felt like it was almost impossible when I started. Obviously, at some point in time, you have to kind of let that go and say, I'll do the best I can, and I'll give it my best shot and whatever I can to fulfill a character. And hopefully people will enjoy it.
Call me Doom.
Dr. Doom takes to wearing a metal mask, and we've been experimenting with different techniques for making his voice sound more scary.
They wanted a mask sound, so we came up with a SCSI drive bay that has some metal reflections inside there, and actually record through the speaker, through the box into the mic, We actually have it hooked up to this one right now, the electrical connector box. If you look over here, you can see the mic sticking right through here. It resonates through the whole box here. We get kind of a nice boxy resonant sound, and there's a couple pillows in there, and we're kind of off axis, and it fills up the mask sound along with these two tracks together.
It just basically it becomes very believable. It's something that you would hear in nature as opposed to being kind of a concocted thing electronically.
Doom is this steel, this indestructible, and of course Michael Chiklis is the thing. So when these guys are going at it, I mean, it's just maybe two rhinoceroses or just two big indestructible. They can't really hurt each other, but they're just two big entities just coming together. Even if the cable's loose for seconds, and then tighten up into it, just a little bit like showing that this guy's backed up enough and bring it on, you know. Okay. Fuck it, bring it on, and you stop and back tight your cable. So you're not just cutting into a guy just standing perfectly still. Okay.
So how's this from here? Just,
yeah. Going out the window had to be really exaggerated to where they go out the window and into the pool. I mean, everything was more than just two guys fighting at it, and one guy getting the upper hand on the other. It really wasn't that case. It's just a character-driven fight and how these guys would be in real life as far as indestructible and not feeling any pain.
Action!
Doom is this tiny little guy right here in the middle of the intersection, gathering energy from the buildings around him. They actually went up to Vancouver and did laser scans of the environment, so we have accurate three-dimensional geometry of the buildings and stuff for that set. We basically just built the facades of the buildings that needed to be in the shot. Other things like lampposts and stuff that are also in there that the lightning is going to need to interact with. There's a bus in the background that the lightning might hit. So this is one of the bolts that's coming down, and we have control where we can move this point around, and our lightning tool will automatically connect to things that it's near. So you can see there it's touching the bus. If I drag it over here, you'll see it kind of arcs to things that it would arc to in the scene. So here it's hitting the lampposts, touching the ground over here. So we have pretty accurate control of where we want to place the lightning.
Spark off the face, hood, and shoulder. All right. It's bang, bang, bang. Oh, I'm sorry. His hand. Here's the list. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get the mask on, please.
Are we ready to maybe be going into the firing box here?
Yeah.
Can I open number 8 here to
sir.
put in the spark? I'd like to put that spark right there, one little stitch around it, just to hold it to his collar would be lovely. Thanks very much, girls. Neck, hood, shoulder.
And here comes the rain. Perfect. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's give him the weapon. Step out. Stand by to go.
Exit mark.
Take him out.
I started watching the cartoons.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when I was like 4 or 5 years old.
No
and then I got
kidding.
into the comics. I mean, because I'm Australian, so...
Do they have them in Australia?
Oh, yeah, it was huge.
Wow.
I mean, all of us grew up reading the Fantastic Four comics and all that kind of stuff. And then since I've been here, I've been doing a lot of history on the stuff. And, you know, I got all the original comics, and I got
But you
the
never
first...
wrote me a letter.
I've got the first cartoon. I did!
I never heard from you, not a word.
I've been
there in the
busy, man!
States. I was in the States waiting, watching the mail every day. Nothing from
Nothing from
Australia.
Latveria. No.
Oh, hey, it's so good meeting you.
Oh,
and I'm
it's
going to
such an
follow your
honor to meet
career
you.
because I know this is the start. From here on, there's no stopping you.
This is what we call movie magic right here. These are the guys that make me look as ugly as I look right now. Thank you.
It's time to end this.
He's this totally gregarious sweetheart of a guy, and you know, just fascinated to listen to the way that, you know, we had a chat about the character and all that kind of stuff, and what an honor. I mean, truly and really, I've been so excited since I got on set because he was here as soon as I got here. I've been kind of bubbling since, so it's ridiculous.